Howdy, folks. So today is a beautiful day here in Costa Rica. It's very, very windy though. So I've put a cotton ball on the microphone on my phone, and hopefully that cuts the wind noise down a little bit. The local coffee plant is a bird just landed right there on my roof. So if you hear scraping, that's the birds. Big bird, too. Anyway, the coffee plant run next door. They're doing some construction, so you'll probably hear that as well. But the reason why I'm doing the video today is I was on TikTok and a gentleman had his sewing kit, like a sewing kit for camping. And he said it was made for him by a guy who goes by Bushcraft Kieslow Bush. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. I'll put it down right here. Um, he got it from him, and I actually subscribe to that guy's channel, and he makes all sorts of cool stuff. So I saw that, and I thought that could be useful. It would be fun to make, but the entire thing I was pretty much going to have to make from scratch because all I had was some thread and some needles. So after a couple days of work, I came up with this, and I'm going to run you guys through what I have in my sewing kit for camping and hiking, survival stuff. Also, I'm going to show you a couple other projects I've been doing in this last week. So anyway, let's get down to it. Okay, folks, to start this off, here's the outside. The leather I used was this stuff right here. It's a chrome tan. I soaked it in my coconut oil, beeswax, paraffin wax mix on both sides, front and back, before I cut the pattern out. I figured it would be a little bit more protected that way. And this button here is off of a section of water buffalo horn. The little, I don't know what you call that, button knob thing here is actually woolly mammoth ivory. Whenever I was making knives, I had a few of them that I used woolly mammoth ivory on the handles, and this is a little piece I saved. All right, so let's open this up. The string here, let's see if you guys can see that. That is a 4-part braid of black nylon string for leather, waxed, as well as jute cord and this brown wax string that I use for leather. So it goes there. Let's fold it out. And here is the kit. This center flap here holds the needles and awls. And then if you lift that up is spare string. It's a nylon string here, the jute cord string, and then that brown and black leather wax string. Put that right there. This is a little awl that I made. Let me see if I put that where you guys can see it good. And that is actually from an old punch that my uncle gave me. And as you can see, the steel was very rusted. So I took it to the grinder, smoothed it out as best I could, and then made a little triangle blade for the awl. Polished it up. And so after I got through grinding everything down and polishing it, I took it to the blowtorch. The first thing I did was get the color that I wanted, kind of a blue gold thing going on there, depending, and quench that. Then I got the first half of the edge or the tip here red hot and quench that, so it'll hold its point for a good long time. So that goes there. The first set of needles here is with the black waxed nylon string, and that's for leather. The next needle here, this is a Glover's needle. So it actually has like a triangle point, and it's good for whenever you can't pre-cut the holes in your leather, or if you're going into a tight fabric that will cut, literally cut right into the fabric or the leather. The next needle, and this is just some nylon thread on these. The next needle is an awl needle, AWL needle, and if you guys know the little awl stitching machines, it basically will make a stitch just like a sewing machine will, and all you really need to do is take a little piece of wood, drill a hole in it, shove that down into on the end of the base of the needle just a little bit where it holds it in place, and you can punch this through just like a sewing machine. And it also has that really nice sharp point to it. A couple other different leather needles, and then this is just a basic big needle that seemed like it would be useful. This is a longer sewing needle and two normal sewing needles, and I have normal sewing thread of different colors for that. Lastly is a bone needle, nice sharp point. Put that right there. And I added a little X-Acto blade. Thought that might come in useful. So I stored, I have sewn a little extra pouch for that. So I'm going to put this back together here. All right. In this pouch here, the wind's blowing the camera. This is a carpenter's pencil that I marked at 1-inch intervals right there, so I can mark the stuff that I'm working on. And then also, pull this out. This is a thread roll. I also made this with the water buffalo horn. Two different colors of thread, quite a bit actually, almost full thimbles of each. The nice handy thing about this, if you guys can see it, because the water buffalo horn it grows in layers, I was able to split this just a little bit and stick the end of the string into the horn on both ends. Very, very handy. All right, so that's there. And then on this side, you guys know that I usually have my Romanian rucksack. This is some spare canvas to repair the rucksack. And then also out of water buffalo horn, this is just a little device to make a hole. I used a small bit. See if you guys can see that. Used a little small drill bit, and out of the base of the water buffalo horn, took this section, and instead of doing it all the way around, I left a concave. That way I can put my thumb here and twist. It gives me something to kind of grab a hold of. And so far it's worked really good. I actually used that in drilling holes for the leather. All right, so that is it. That is my camping sewing kit. Um, I end up doing a lot of repairs and stuff myself or making stuff myself. And so it just made sense to have all my needles and threads and things like that that I might need in one place. All right, so I've got the sewing kit put back together. It's over here, and I'm going to show you guys a couple other things that I've been working on. Um, you guys are very familiar that I love to carve with the Woodsman. I find the shape of the kukri blade, especially being able to rest the handle on my leg, is just fantastic for carving. Um, Probably a couple weeks ago now, I carved this spoon, and this was completely done with the Woodsman. The only thing that's different from how it looked whenever I was done with carving is I hit it with some sandpaper just to smooth it out. The extended tang, that 90 degree, is what I use to get the spoon shape out. And my wife has now taken possession of this, and she's using this for her tea. Let's see here. The other thing that I was working on, a comb. I don't have any hair on my head, but I do have a beard. And for fun, I thought it would be interesting to see how hard it would be to carve a comb just using the Woodsman. I just basically used a scrap piece of limb like this. Actually, this is, yep, that's the actual piece. I used the Woodsman saw right here, as you guys can see, to cut that section off, but it was actually like this. And carved it as smooth as I could. As you can tell, this wood's kind of got a crazy grain to it, but it went really good. I carved everything out. The biggest trick was getting the teeth, um, because I was dealing with either knots here or like where a bug had chewed into the wood, which that is right there. Trying to even everything out, and I'm really happy how it turned out. It's actually usable. Ended up putting some sandpaper on it and soaking it in a little bit of polyurethane, and that's something I'm going to keep. And the other bigger project that I did was I made a box. As you guys can see, this was completely done using only the Woodsman. I had a section or two different limbs. One I split down. You can see here. I used the knife to baton the limbs and kind of smooth them out. I jokingly called this my ugly box because I really didn't think it was going to turn out this good. The other limb I split all the way around and kind of decided what parts needed to go where. But I'm super happy with the end results. I just used wood glue to kind of put everything together, and it's holding great. I've actually dropped it a couple times, and it's not broken yet. But now this stays on my dresser, and it's a nice place to put my glasses and wedding rings and stuff like that. So I'm really, really happy with it. But anyway, this is some of the projects that I've been working on. Ooh, I think I've done this like 10 times now. I'll see if I can get my point across this time. I want to encourage all you guys and gals out there to take whether it be a knife or a hatchet or whatever that you take with you normally out into the woods and go make something with that tool. It could be a cup, it could be a spoon, it could be a tri stick, it could be whatever, an ugly box. But take the tool that you use. Okay, it's a challenge because it will force you to kind of think outside the box, and also you're building up skills and a skill set with the tool that you're most likely to have if you ever find yourself in need. You know, man, it would suck to be stuck out in the woods or the jungle and for a week and wanting to have a bowl or wanting to have a spoon, and then you have that learning curve of how to carve a spoon with your knife, and you haven't done it before with that knife. You've used a maybe one of those little spoon blades, and they are, hey, they're great, they work fine. But whenever you're in whenever you're in need and you're stuck, you need to be proficient with the knife or the tool, axe, whatever, the mora that you normally have. And so I would encourage everybody, pick a project and go have some fun with it, and enjoy yourself. I have so much fun carving things with my woodsman. So anyway, I hope that got the point across, and I hope you all are doing well. And as always, stay safe, take care, and God bless.